Hey y'all, this is Ramblin Chris. Today we're going to be replacing the grips on my bike. You can see the grips currently on it have this foam outer bit, and that's all ripping to pieces. Throttle side a lot worse than the clutch side, but they're both pretty bad. Okay, so we're going to start on the throttle side. The very first thing that we need to do is we need to put some slack into the throttle cables. So you got these rubber boots here. If you just slide these up, you can see there are our adjustment screws, so we're just going to have to introduce enough slack that we can loop the cables off when we take off the clamshell. When we take off the switch cover here, there is a bolt up top and there is a bolt down underneath that you need to take off. Let's go ahead and run those out. Now if I twist the throw towards me, that adds a little more slack in the return cable, so I can pop this screwdriver underneath of it. It should be able to walk it right out the side. Now once you loop the cable around the side, this little end here is inside of this piece here. So if you just give it a pull, the whole thing just pulls right out. Now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other cable. And with both cables off, you can just pull the other grip right off. You can see this is torn up pretty good. Now before I reassemble, I want to lubricate these cables while it's apart. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a video that's going to be coming shortly. Okay, we're now ready to re-hook this up and install the new grips. One step to do before it though is clean off your bar first. That way you get any potential adhesive residue that was under there or anything else that was under there. Just get it cleaned off. It's not like you ever get an opportunity to clean these. I'm just wiping this off with some rubbing alcohol. Now just before we install the throttle, something you want to do is lube up the bar with a graphite spray. So you're going to take one of your brass ferrules from earlier. You're going to slip that on your cable. And that ferrule goes into the appropriate slot. In this case, this one is our lower slot. And from there, you wrap your cable around. There you go. You now have one of your brake cable. Now one of your throttle cables reinstalled. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Exactly the same in every way. Okay, right now with both throttle cables installed, we're ready to put this switch housing back together, and we'll move on to the other side. Now this other side is very similar. However, you may not need to take off your switch housing. If you can get this grip off without the housing coming off, then you do not need to take off the housing. In my case, this grip has started to loosen up over time, so which is part of the reason I'm replacing these. The adhesive is pretty much let go, so I can just twist this right off. And now I have a bare bar. We're gonna clean that up real quick with some rubbing alcohol and move on to the next step. Now we're ready to put this new grip on, which, like the other side, this side will just slide on. Now for these grips, let's see if we can see this. There is a set screw here, and that's how you're gonna hold it in place. You can put a small dimple in the bar, then apply the set screw. Now to decide how to put it on, as you see, these have writing on the end, so orientation will make a difference. So now, the clutch side would have been the easier side to start with, but I started over on the throttle side because how it rests, I do not really have much control over. That's just cable adjustment. This is how it's going to sit. So I want the other side to also match. You look at it, I slide it over. Looks like approximately like this will be my orientation. So then there's my set screw, which is the spot I have to dimple. From there though, installation will be pretty simple. All you gotta do is simply line it back up. Right, it's on there. Giving this twist, and it does not move. You can see that's our orientation on that side. And this side is like this, so they are pretty close. Last thing we do is to check your throttle adjustments, which the video I've been referencing most of the video, it will be in there. Until next time, this has been Ramblin' Chris.